Is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Monday, everybody. How we feeling?
Good.
Good.
You seem like you had to think about that for 1 second.
No. I knew.
I always go like, wait, what year is this? Okay. I have to look at people's kids and be like, okay, time is passing, because it all seems like one day.
Yeah. No, I know
Wow.
Mondays and Fridays.
There you go.
I get a little confused in the middle of the week.
We'll check back with you.
All right, cool. Great start. Okay, so the Academy is conducting a review over one of the Best Actress nominees. So Andrea Riseborough is a relatively unknown actress who starred in the movie To Leslie, the very popular To Leslie. She's up for an Oscar next to stars like Kate Blanchett and Michelle Yeoh, but some people thought the British actress literally came out of nowhere, because she did. Or did she? There are reports that the director's wife, actress Mary McCormick, got her A-list friends to help promote the movie and her performance for Oscar contention. One of her pals, Gwyneth Paltrow, hosted a screening of the film with Andrea and Demi Moore. Why didn't you just say Demi Moore? And singing the movie's praises on Instagram. Charlize Theron also hosted a private screening. So did Jennifer Aniston and actor Edward Norton. On Friday, the Academy said it was reviewing campaign procedures to see if anyone broke movie rules. But actress Christina Ricci wasn't happy with the Academy's investigation, saying it felt elitist to go after a small film without a budget for a big Oscar campaign. That was a lot of words for something I don't care about. Yeah, so what do you think? Yeah, I don't.
I think, to be honest, I think she skated the line. I mean, this movie, she did have screenings and she did have publicity, but everyone does if you have a big thing for your consideration, big billboards everywhere. This is just done in a different way. Remember, the rule is if you contact them specifically trying to get them to vote for that movie. She did nothing of the sort as her fake defense attorney. She could easily get off.
Let me be specific, since we're in the fake court of law.
Yeah.
So Academy lobbying rules say contacting Academy members directly in a manner outside the scope of the rules to promote a film or achievement for an Academy Award is forbidden.
Right, as a good lawyer, you could be like, she didn't. She just had screenings because they didn't have enough money.
No, she didn't just have screenings.
Yes,
I could have a screening at my house right now. Is Demi Moore going to come? No, the director's wife contacted people for screenings. If that's why I'm saying this can't be looked at as a grassroots campaign. Grassroots is like, hey, we the people, we're going to go out, we're going to make some marker and signs and go outside. Like, a grassroots campaign isn't getting the most powerful person to organize the most powerful people. That's the opposite of grassroots.
I don't think
this is an inside job.
I don't think grassroots has to be pencil and marker and cheap things. I think a grassroots is when it comes from the community, and it did.
Would a grassroots campaign come from like LeBron James?
No,
it comes from like local people in the city.
But at that point, she has her artist friends, and they happen to be famous, and all she did.
Oh, happened to be like it was an accident. She just knocked on doors.
No,
so Demi Moore.
but you're not going to go to randos. She's going to go to the people in her circles and be like,
yes,
I love this movie.
people that have sway to gain advantage over the other movies.
But did she ever say you got to vote for this? No.
Well, no, but this is what happens with it. Actually, in any other context, this is brilliant, because if you think about the way that I've read my fair share of books in my life, right? The ones that I remember the most were the ones that there was a book club, a bunch of people came together, we talked about it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's ingrained in my memory as one of the best books I ever read. Was it really one of the best books I ever read? Or was it that I enjoyed the conversation and I got to think about it in a lot of different ways because there was a diversity of thought and people around? So in terms of marketing, it is brilliant. In terms of the way that the actual Academy stands and the lack of diversity, this is the reason why representation matters. Because we don't have a very diverse nominee pool when it comes to Best Actress in general. Bigger names who absolutely were thought to have been worthy of this nomination. We think of Viola Davis, who absolutely, Woman King was a huge film.
It was.
So when we're having these conversations,
yeah, but did it make $27,000? Like,
stop.
This film is like less than a Civic. Like, I mean, 27. Like, Any nightclub in Miami, if they make that, the owner is jumping out the window.
But low-budget films have
that
won
is
before.
like an hour at like a half-decent nightclub.
Dude.
An hour outside of
But
Orlando.
low-budget film-
$27,000. You're not tall enough to ride this ride.
So
at
they're
27.
excluded from the Oscars because they didn't make money?
Absolutely.
What
You're
does that
excluded
mean?
from the Oscars when people have never heard of you.
That's why she was trying to get people to hear in a very...
No, she was trying to circumnavigate the rules. People hear of you from word of mouth. People say, this is a good film. You should watch it. And Al told me to watch it. And then Brooks tells somebody to watch it.
Nothing in that rule said she can't recommend a movie to someone, and that's what she did.
Recommend a movie?
Yeah, she had asked for them to have a screening.
But recommend it to people that can get her on the ballot. That's a big difference in recommending the movie. Just somebody checking you out at CVS. It's a big difference.
Yeah. I'm all with, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And
That's
she knows
right.
the right people and she got her name on the ballot. As opposed to James Cameron, whose movie grossed $2 billion, which I saw over the weekend. It was fantastic, was also left off the list. Well, not because of diversity.
Best director,
It made too much money. Got to keep it 28,000
So I guess
and
money
lower.
has, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's up for Best Picture.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about something we could all get along with. Oprah. That was a bad turn.
That was great.
Oprah turned 69 on Sunday, and some of her famous friends wished her well on social media. Probably friends who could get you an Academy nomination. You know what I mean? Gayle King posted this photo of the two, writing, "Happy everything to the girl who lives her best life and does what she can to help everybody else do the same." A happy birthday would have sufficed. Kerry Washington posted this selfie and called Oprah a birthday goddess. Lupita Nyong'o also shared a sweet shot with Miss Oprah, and Kim Kardashian posted this pic with Oprah.
It looks like they were photoshopped in there.
Oprah was surprised with a birthday cake and did her best to blow out all the candles.
Yeah, good for her.
Say more.
You know what I like? Honestly,
Expand.
Yeah.
You know what I like about Oprah? And we did a story about a month back about like people getting mad at her for flaunting her wealth. I like that. It seems like Oprah did her thing, made a boatload of money, and is now enjoying it. And she like is just showing us like, hey, these are the fruits of my labors. I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm doing what I hope a lot of people do is whatever amount of money you make during your working life. To now, like, don't stress all the time about the news, and don't stress all like you worked hard. Like, call your friend. Take a weird picture in the yard like they did. I feel like her and Gayle were very weirdly separated. You could have fit another person in there, but she can do whatever she wants because she's retired. She's a billionaire. Good for you, Oprah. I think it's a good thing to show people, especially Americans that are shamed into working too hard, that like when you're done, go be done. Have a birthday party with your girls. Get drunk. Who cares?
Who said Oprah was done? Oprah's everywhere.
No,
She's
I mean,
not retired.
Oprah, well, she's not doing the talk show every day.
Well, no, but that's because she's moved on to other things. You can't be like,
What
she's
other
retired.
things? What
Go.
other-
She's
what
on
other
60
things?
Minutes.
She still has her magazine. She still has
What do you think, she's
Sundays.
printing it out
She still
by
has,
hand? Somebody's
she still
running
has
that.
own. She still. I mean, Oprah is actively. I wouldn't say Oprah's retired.
I hope she is.
I don't
hope
think
you're wrong.
Oprah
I
is.
hope Oprah never
I don't
lifts
know
a
how
finger
you
again.
retire from being Oprah. Like, I really don't. But I mean, if it's clearly she has found a way to. I don't want to say balance because everybody gets upset and like there is no balance. But obviously, I agree. She's living her best life, and we need to see it the same way that some of us need to see what it's like to come from absolutely nothing, to grind and hustle and build an entire empire. And there should be a reward for that. And that reward should be substantial. Otherwise, why are we killing ourselves trying to do it? So yeah, Oprah, you do you, boo. We are clapping.
Happy birthday!
At least I am. Happy birthday.
I would have liked to see her like do a fake keg stand or something.
Dude, she drinks a lot, tequila shots and stuff.
Oh, she does?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, then maybe a real keg
She's
stand.
fun. She parties.
See, she
do
drinks
you,
a
Oprah?
lot.
Yeah, well, when she goes to parties,
Oprah's an alcoholic?
No, she just takes shots and stuff. It's
You
cute.
heard it here from Tori.
Yeah, Tori,
my
you
God.
said Oprah's an alcoholic. You want to face the camera so you get a clear one for social media?
No, she isn't, but she enjoys a good beverage and a libation.
Alcoholic? All right. We got to get this story in, apparently. Speaking of getting older, Martha Stewart seems to be aging in reverse. That's funny, it just came off of Tori. Martha recently posted this pic of her face while getting her hair done. In the post, she claimed that there were no filters or facelifts involved. Let me take a peek. Really?
Yeah, but
Martha
she's
posted
Sorry.
more pics and added that her skin looks great, mainly because of amazing facials over the past 40 years. You're right, she is backwards, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gonna help her out a little bit,
No,
right?
her skin does look great. But when you first showed that picture, I was not prepared. I've been in a lot of prep rooms growing up, and I was like, oh, Lord, what is going on here?
But I didn't even think that was Martha Stewart.
If you just showed me that picture and you gave me 100 guesses, I wouldn't say Martha Stewart.
I agree with you. It's almost like Marilyn Monroe-y.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Martha Stewart-y.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's all I got.
It's just weird to me that people still feel like they need to say, like, no filters, all natural. Like, however you think you look good, put it out there. I don't know why that's, like, the standard.
That's important for older women, I think, especially to see that that can be achieved and done so. Obviously, she has all the resources in the world without full-on surgery. That's a nice thing to see.
Well, she's 81.
Yeah.
I mean...
Do you believe her?
That she's 81?
No, that she hasn't had anything done.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, we got to wrap. What smells fantastic?
It does smell great.
It smells really good.
It's like citronella-y.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for you, Rob. I like your new lotion.
Citrus.
Coming up on DBL, wild video from the streets of Philadelphia shows Eagle fans partying a little too hard. We're talking all about the crazy celebrations. And Michael B. Jordan hosts SNL. What do we think about him? Talking about his breakup on stage. He's a handsome man.
You look good.
It's a new year and DBL is all the talk.
Let's get it going.
We had a lot to talk about last year.
I'm flexing every day.
And we're not stopping in 2023. I'll see you guys on the flip side.
So if you guys didn't watch the Michael B. Jordan thing, in the beginning he goes, I was on Studio 8H in Rockefeller Center, or in that area, for shooting The Young and the Restless. I believe that was the soap opera. And they show a clip when he was 16, and he's got braids, and he goes like this, Al, I'm young, man. I gotta be free. Oh! Like in the soap opera.
Right.
And that was funny. And then he redid it on the show, on the stage at 8. I thought that was cool.
Did you like his performance?
I thought he was good, but I thought the writing was kind of. I only liked like one sketch from it.
So you did not like it?
No, it wasn't great. But you know what's always good? Weekend Update is consistently the best part for me of SNL. It's like Colin and Michael Che. Their reactions, man, they're good. And I keep forgetting he's married to Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, that's one of the
Right?
perks of getting.
I never really wrapped in my mind around the fact that his name is Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, he makes
Because the
fun of
B
that.
always gets in the way of that.
That's right.
And so
He
I
goes,
don't
Michael
in
be
my head
nervous.
wrap-
Michael be
yeah.
this.
He was like, wait, the dude's name is Michael
Yeah,
Jordan.
he goes, if you look up Michael Jordan crying, this comes up. Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird thing to be that cathartic about the breakup, though. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and a little diggy about Lori Harvey, a little bit. He was like,
We have like 4 minutes to talk about it, so maybe let's save it.
okay, do you guys want to hear a joke? Why did the chicken cross the road? Because! It's the chicken sound.
Doing what some little kid did.
Yeah, it was so good. I thought
What
it
is
was
this?
because.
Yeah, and a meme.
I don't know what that is.
Because.
I would just.
What is
I'd
that?
let that go. I'd just go past this.
Okay.
Why don't you tell them your newborn?
I looked it up, and on BobSullivan.net, it does say before, too, they are zooming and scrolling.
At where?
BobSullivan.net.
Because.
Welcome back. Actor Michael B. Jordan is reflecting in the mirror on how beautiful he is. No, he's reflecting on his very public breakup. Michael split from Lori Harvey last year after dating for more than a year. During his monologue on SNL, he talked about how he's been coping since. Let's watch.
Now, most people after a breakup are like, I'm gonna get in better shape. But I was already in Creed shape. So I had to be like, all right, I guess I'll learn a new language. Anyway, estoy en raya.
So in case you don't know, Raya is a dating app for famous and rich people, right? So do you think he's really on Raya, or that was just part of the joke?
I think he's really on it.
I have a weird Raya story from this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, I did a show Saturday night, and sometimes when you get to the venue late, the line is already formed, and I don't like to scoop past people when they're paying, so I was just behind this.
You were waiting in line?
I was waiting in line for the show that I was headlining.
Dude, what are you doing?
And,
Wait, there's so many questions. Are you on Raya?
No. But the guy in front of me.
Why were you in line at your own show?
Because I didn't want to scoop past him to get to the green room, so I was like, let me just let them get through. And the guy was telling his date, he's kind of a short guy. He wasn't like a model. We'll just leave it at that. And he just goes, he was not. And he goes, yeah, I got greenlit for Raya in like 30 minutes. It's like usually you have to be rich or good looking. I guess I'm both. And like his date, who was like a 6 foot tall, attractive woman, was like, you are. And I was like, this is a sham. That whatever's going on in front of me.
Why are you shaming this? Didn't they come to see your show?
Because he was being super braggadocious about his Raya.
Did you bring that up during your set?
No,
that would have been hilarious.
I forgot.
That would have been
so late on time. But yes, Raya does waitlist a lot of people.
Yeah, you've been waitlisted?
Yeah,
I know. I've tried to get people on Raya, and you have to be accepted into Raya. But like Ben Affleck was on Raya and went on dates. Like it's not unheard of.
What do you mean you tried to get people on the Raya?
Like people who are single, I tried to get them on Raya to reach a certain caliber of person. So that they're not unhinged, they would go to Raya and date someone.
How do you have connections to Raya?
I have no connections. I'm just trying. We put.
It's a network thing. So I've successfully gotten people on Raya.
Oh, I haven't.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
So it's a network thing. So you have to know someone.
You vouched for
right. You have to know who is on that would be a good candidate to recommend someone else, and that's how you get people onto Raya.
Do you know famous and rich people?
She does.
Well, we all know somebody. We all know somebody. Anyway,
Why don't you get them
I think
on
that
the show?
maybe Michael B. Jordan is on Raya, and I would not be shocked by that. Although most people who are on Raya don't need to be on Raya anyway.
Why do you say that?
Because I think it's just like I think it's a numbers game. If you think about, like, you're not allowed to screenshot, right? There's a lot of privacy on that particular platform. And if you think about it, when you hear about celebrities who are on Raya, it's because, I got hit up by so-and-so. And then a thread starts with all of these women or men who are like, I got hit up by so-and-so too. So I think that they're just like playing the numbers, especially when you're on an app like that, because then you go to another city and there might be someone who's actually on Raya. So it's like a vetting process.
But even like
they don't have to be, they just want to be.
Your attention span's over. But even like Sharon Stone and Charlize Theron, it's like it's hard to get a date as a celebrity. People don't approach you. So Raya is a good way to do that for people like that.
It seems
You're done?
real difficult.
Okay.
Yeah. How about go to Starbucks?
Grocery store.
What are you gonna go up to Charlize Theron and be like, you want to go on a date?
We saw.
Could I just say Michael Jordan's super handsome and he's on top of the world, but what he did with Laura Harvey is super embarrassing.
The love bombing.
Yeah. And I called it out and everyone's like, how dare you? He's in love. Yeah. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Point.
Have fun.
With tax season underway, Verify is here to answer your questions. We noticed some folks were startled because the money they can get from the child tax credit appeared to have gone down significantly this year. You might remember that as part of the pandemic relief efforts, that credit was increased by at least $1,000 per child. So let's verify. Can families receive the increased child tax credit this year? Our sources are the White House, the IRS, and the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. The child tax credit was created in the 90s as a way to give families under a certain income threshold extra cash to help raise their kids. Historically, the money came in the form of a yearly lump sum at tax time, $2,000 per kid. In 2021, President Biden signed the American Rescue Plan, a stimulus package aimed at helping the nation bounce back from COVID. One of its provisions was to increase the child tax credit by $1,000 per kid, even more for kids 5 and under. Some of that money was actually sent out in advance in the form of monthly checks, and the rest claimed on that year's tax return like normal. But the law specifically says this bonus cash was a one-time thing, only for the 2021 tax year. That means there were no more monthly checks in 2022, and the total amount per kid went back down to $2,000. So we can verify, no, you won't receive the increased child tax credit this year. You can still get the regular credit if you claim it on your tax return. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
Welcome back. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. You got ties?
Yeah. Does that mean money on it?
No.
Because Philadelphia, you're a Washington fan.
First cousins are big. They went to the game, big Eagles fans.
All right.
Are they the same Raya friends?
No.
All right. Congrats to Philadelphia and the Kansas City Chiefs. They secured their spot in the Super Bowl last night. Eagle fans were so excited that they celebrated on light poles on top of a bus stop, and then they fell
in the bottom of bus stops.
All right, good for you guys. But if football isn't your thing, there are plenty of other interesting facts about the big game. So check this out. 27% of people say the commercials are the best part. I wonder if that's a gender thing. Perhaps. 43% of Americans would give up a work holiday to take off the next day after the game. Absolutely. The cheapest tickets right now are going for over $5,000 to the game. And a 30-second ad during the Super Bowl cost $6.5 million. And 49.2 million cases of beer are sold on Super Bowl Sunday.
We need to know how much, like, Advil is sold on Monday for all the hangovers. Like, that would be a great number too.
It's a good ad for Advil.
Wouldn't you, if you're having a party, buy your beer on Saturday? What are you buying your beer on Sunday for?
That's you're very last minute.
Procrastination.
Yeah, I don't like it. You're probably hungover. And of course, we can all look forward to the halftime show Rihanna will be performing this year.
Yes.
Can I ask you guys a question? The Empire State Building went up in green for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's, I guess, the rival to the New York Giants, and everyone's really mad. And Jets. So is that?
Why?
Yeah, they did it because it's on the East Coast. Would that ring badly for you guys too?
I wouldn't like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
they're number one trending, Empire State Building.
I will say this, because Tori, you said that the ticket price was ridiculous. I would argue that if somebody's a lifelong football fan, my grandmother was a lifelong Steelers fan. The only thing that when I get up there, we're going to have a discussion about, you are a Browns fan, Marcella, but she's a diehard Steelers fan. And I feel like she's a person that, if possible, you save up 5-10 years and you go. I went to Super Bowl a couple years ago. Eagles were in it against Tom Brady, Patriots. It's an incredible thing. It's an electric feeling in there, and there is a feeling. I went to a lot of live sporting events, Final Four. There is something that you cannot get on TV. So if you are a person that's a diehard, whether that means you don't drink, whether that means you don't order Postmates for a year, whatever, I suggest, even though it's a lot of money, if it's something you're into, go get it. Get that ticket.
It's a lot of Postmates.
It is a lot of Postmates. I was like kind of thinking in my head, how much do I spend on Postmates?
I looked at my Chase the other day and saw how much I spend in coffee. It's significant. Like whatever you think, there's like, oh, just get this every day. It adds up, bro. Yeah. So if you take one thing out, you can start saving for that Super Bowl ticket. I'm telling you.
Interesting.
Look at your account.
Seems excessive to you guys all, right?
No.
Like that,
Oh no, $5,000 is a lot of money.
No, it's a lot of money, but it's not excessive.
For Super Bowl, I had no idea it was
because
that.
people want it.
I had no idea. I thought it was like, I didn't know that it's the cheapest one you can get. It's $5 grand.
Oh yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. We'll be right back. You gotta go.
According to Health and Human Services, 15 million Americans are expected to lose Medicaid coverage starting in April. This is because many won't be eligible for the program. But could you still lose Medicaid coverage even if you do qualify? Let's verify. Our sources, the Department of Health and Human Services, North Carolina Health and Human Services, and Lois Norris, health policy analyst for healthinsurance.org. According to NCDHHS, around 300,000 people in North Carolina could be on track to lose their Medicaid coverage. But why? Before COVID-19, people who were using Medicaid had to be recertified every year with information on family size and income to see if they could continue with the coverage. In 2020, states were prohibited from cutting people off from Medicaid because of the COVID public health crisis. But Congress recently passed a more than 4,000-page, $1.7 trillion bill that funds the federal government, and tucked in it is a provision that would eliminate Medicaid coverage protections from the ongoing public health emergency declaration. To stay on Medicaid, families would have to meet certain requirements in North Carolina. For example, those families must be low income and have no other source of health insurance. However, DHHS estimates 6.8 million people will still lose Medicaid coverage even if they remain eligible for the program. This may be because they don't receive the renewal notice, can't provide documentation required by the state, or don't submit documents by the deadline.
If you ignore your renewal packet from Medicaid, you get disenrolled. And so if they can't automatically renew you just based on, information they already have on file.
So we can verify that, yes, you can still lose Medicaid coverage even if you qualified, because now states must once again review Medicaid eligibility every year.
The U.S. hit its debt ceiling this month. That's the cap imposed by Congress on how much money the Treasury can borrow to meet the government's financial obligations, such as paying Social Security benefits. Because Congress approved a budget that spends more than it takes in, the Treasury needs to borrow more to pay those bills. Congress is currently debating whether to allow that by raising the limit. Verify viewer Ryan wanted to know how often that happens. He asked, was the last time the debt ceiling was raised during Obama's presidency? We used these sources to verify. Congress has raised the debt limit 20 times since 2001, under the leadership of both parties. The most recent time was in December of 2021, when it was lifted by $2.5 trillion to bring it up to $31.385 trillion. So we can verify, no, the last time the debt ceiling was raised was not during Obama's presidency, it was just over a year ago. Lifting the debt ceiling does not authorize any new spending. It just allows the government to pay its existing obligations. Experts say if the limit doesn't get lifted and the country can't pay its bills, there would be catastrophic economic consequences. With your Fast Fact, I'm Casey Decker.
Welcome back. Are you tired of thin, dry, and scaly skin? You're in luck because Crepe Erase is a breakthrough in skincare for your body. Crepe Erase quenches dry skin, protects from signs of aging, and instantly delivers visibly and firmer and smoother skin. I feel like everyone's just looking at me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. The brand new Crepe Erase Ultra System is reformulated to improve the look of dry and crepey skin, especially on your hands, neck, chest, and other age giveaway areas. After just one use, 80% of users saw an instant reduction in the look of crepey skin on their bodies, and 100% of women agree they instantly felt more youthful. Crepe Erase is dermatologist tested with natural derived extracts and is not tested on animals. Order today and receive 2 free gifts: the Ultra Smoothing Neck Repair and fan favorite 4-in-1 Line Smoothing Capsules. You get them absolutely free with your purchase of the Crepe Erase Ultra System. Plus, get free shipping with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-220-9119 or visit crepeerase.com today and join the body care revolution. I'm taking tomorrow off. That was too much work for me. That was too much work.
Right. I just I get happy looking at Crepe Erase because it makes me think about my grandmother. I think about her like beauty routine. Like, that's one of the memories I have of her. I know she would have had Crepe Erase.
Thanks for filling up that hole, buddy. I appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.
Thanks.